right, let's see. Let's see. I think all right. So we seem to be good now. Let's so Roshan and team will be joining us very shortly. Sorry about the little delays. Are you all hearing me kind of okay? I know I kn- I know that I'm hearing us on the live. So we want to just share out the live. Had a little technical issues. Roshan and W.R. Reyes will be joining us very momentarily. As everyone is aware, we are here this evening in regards to the passing of a brother of ours in this industry that has been a absolute shock. The one and only Mr. Hold on, Anil Beam. Actually, last night watching the wake and so forth, it was known that he likes to go by the pronunciation of Anil. Anil Beam is the name that he goes through. So special good night to each and every one of you that's logging in. Good night to Shazad. Good night to Leandra. I saw there for a quick minute. Good night to Zahir. The other team will be joining just us. Will be joining momentarily, and like I was explaining, it was a complete and utter shock at 4 o'clock in the morning on Saturday gone, which was the I believe the 4th of February, where our world got completely turned upside down from a person, a gentleman that has led the industry for over 30 some odd years, Mr. Anil Beam. It was unfortunate that he suffered a heart attack on Saturday morning after completing two performances, live performances, which more than anything was the fact that was more shocking that nobody had any idea or any inkling of the fact that he he was ill of any sort. That was not something that we were seeing or hoping or hearing or whatever, because he was very strong in regards to the performances that he did. Now, one of the things is that all of us out here, when these kind of things happen, what is the first thing that we do? We all take advantage of the fact of pushing ourselves above and beyond, and doing multiple things, and not focusing on your health, not focusing on other things. Anil was healthy to our knowledge in regards to the fact that the man performed like he always does, that golden voice that we've heard for so many years and so many different renditions. He's probably has, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands of songs you know, that is out there. And even in regards to that night, how he performed, nobody had an idea of something like this transpiring for our community and so forth. So, my brother in the industry that is joining us from the NTN studios in Guyana, Mr. W.R. Reyes, who is a longtime friend of Anil Beam as well. So, Ray, are you hearing me okay?
I,
Are we good?
I am
Okay.
hearing you. So definitely, good night to all our viewers who are now streaming in with us. And tonight we are fortunate to be in multiple networks meeting at. I said fortunate, and I'm also saying meeting on these circumstances. Anil Beam, was very witty, very jovial, uh, very passionate, and love his music. And tonight on our panel, guests will talk so much about him. We do have a packed panel of guests. As it is tonight. So, good night to everyone who's locked with us locally at home in Guyana on NTN TV, channel 18, cable 69. You're on WeThing page, WeThing Radio, you're on Abby Tunes Radio, and the Team MMR page. You're there with us on YouTube. I appreciate your company tonight on behalf of our panel. I know the others are joining in with us shortly because I have Joel Gansham, who is also in studio with us tonight. And Joel Gansham is now getting into the waiting room. He had to make sure that he was well decked out altogether. He was well decked out, so I think you'll bring Joel should be in. Joel should be in going into his room now. Yes, I think that is it. But Alan, you
Well,
you're
well,
well.
Ray, let
Let's
me ask
welcome
you a
Joel.
question before we go to Joel and Roshan puts him on screen. What is one memory of yours with the Beamer?
Recent or the past?
Anyone. Just name any
All
memory.
right, I'll go past. I'll go past with Troveni. Um, this is when he was at Troveni. Coming with Troveni, I met him as it is, and he's looking at me. I'm looking at him, mesmerized by seeing around the first time with his voice, and then he's like, "Whoa, you on radio?" It's like, "Why?" He's like, your boy, you sound like a radio man." At that point in time, television, television was the biggest thing in Guyana. There was been radio all the time, but what happened? Radio is celebrating 10 years that moving into multiple networks in Guyana this March, all as it is. There was one radio network before. So television was the biggest thing at that time. And I smiled at Beam telling me about radio, but then radio was big in Trinidad. He was already on radio. That was probably my first encounter with him. From then we grew from strength to strength. We did become into radio because at that moment I was not in radio. I was only in television.
And look how times has changed. So we want to thank everyone for giving their condolences to the family. Tomorrow at 8 a.m. the 8 a.m. U.S. time. If you're in Trinidad and Guyana, it will be 9 a.m. where the funeral will be live on the station that Beam has been a part of for over 20 some odd years, 103 FM. It will be on their platform, on their YouTube channel. We do have a link that's a holding link that's already been established. Myself and the different networks will share that. You want to introduce the one and only the one and only Joel
I would
Gansham.
like to introduce
Sorry.
the one and only Joel Gansham to our audience and our panel tonight. Joel looks very comfortable, but he has been very distraught with this, and I am being very serious on this. The crafting of this program is given to Joel. Joel reached out to me first. Joel said, "Riaz, we need to do something for Anil. Anil's contribution to the industry is magnificent." So it was Joel's idea for us to do whether a wake, a tribute, and then I said, "All right, let me head my two brothers up. Here comes Roshan, here comes Alan, and tonight we're here." Joel Gansham, welcome to the panel of the
Thank you, gentlemen. Good evening to all of you. It's really sad that, and it seems to be something that continues only when there's death or there's a wedding, then people just meet up like we're doing right now. So tonight, of course, we're here to celebrate the life of Anil Beam, a guy who has lent his talent to culture and brought a legacy. He's just a legacy. Come, I've got the studio guys give me direction here on what to do. A legacy of his talent. Tonight, as we remember him, right, we're here to not only talk about his music, but the man that he was, right? He was a father, he was a friend, he was a musician, he was a singer. He has done so much. And of course, he brought that talent from the legacy of his mother and onwards, and he has done so much for culture. So I'm so proud of each and every one of you. And I know the logistics that we've been working on for the past 2-3 days to make this happen. And I'm just so happy that we can all get together and discuss this.
Now, Joel, what is one moment that you have with the Beamer that you want to let everybody know?
So you all know, when I was very young and 100
That
pounds
was a long time
less.
ago. That was a very long time ago. Continue.
So when I was very young, I was a dancer. I was skinny, but anyway, I used to perform with Anna's mom, Auntie Primati, right? Alka Sundar Popo Primati, Ramaraji, Rajesh Sita, all these people of those days, and you can tell my age from that. So I met Anil. He must have been about 17 or so. I think Anil's first show, if I remember correctly, was in Toronto. When he first started performing, it happened in Toronto. I met him in New York way back, must be 30 years or whatever ago. And so that was my first meeting. The funny thing is that you said that. My actually last meeting with Anil was on December 3rd when he was here in Ghana for Ramiz's wedding, huge wedding.
That was,
And I did not even
yeah.
see him. You were there. Yeah, and Riz,
We
you were
actually,
there.
I saw. Yeah, exactly. We were pretty much around the same table, and we didn't have much chat with Beam because what happened, by the time he rushed on, he got into the venue, to the hall where we did the wedding for Rami's. He performed for a good 45 minutes or so, and he was flying out a little bit
Right, he had
after.
to leave to go to the airport.
So,
He had to go
so
on
he
before
didn't.
Savita. Yeah.
Correct. So he did not stay much. I casually met him quickly before he go on stage.
Correct.
And that was about it. We didn't had much talk. He's like, yo, what's happening? We gotta link up. And that was about it. Um, and I would have never imagined that that would have been my last encounter with him. Um, to
Mhm.
have those kind words. We have not introduced Roshan from Abby Tunes to the panel, who is busy technically right
Oh
now.
my God, Roshan, you've been amazing, and today, Roshan, thank you. Where is he?
I am here. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere far. But I just want to say, thanks to everyone who has been supporting the family, especially the fans. This is one time that I would say that each and every one of us need to take a quick stop and look at the unity that a single individual brought into our community and literally around the world. And if a single individual can do this, then each and every one of us can literally change this world. And what an inspiration Anil has been. And I must say, thanks to Anil, you know, this is why each and every one of us are here tonight. So I'm going to go back to you guys.
Indeed, and I know we have a panel of guests, artists from various bands who had encounter with Anil from the past in his journey to where he is today. So we're gonna start bringing in those persons as we get them into the life. I know that Roche and Alan is coordinating on that aspect. We must say goodnight to everyone who's talking with us. Share with us in the live probably your favorite Anil Beam's song, your thoughts, your moment or sometime whether you're a fan, you would have met him at a venue. Share with us as we reflect on the life of a great icon tonight. Um, as we talk about icon, I see an icon has just joined us and come on, and I say that with the best of respect.
Correct.
Um, Cappy and I are friends, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart when I say an icon has joined us right now. And we ought to respect that icons are not only singers and icons are not only actors, but a man like Virendra Cappy is an icon because it's tough for a man like Cappy to join us first tonight, but we choose him because he had personal dealings with Anil as a musician, apart from a friend. And we wanted to join with Virendra, who's the father of AI. Cappy, you're a legend, my brother. And I mean that honestly from the bottom of my heart. Welcome to the life. Not in the best of places for us to discuss tonight, but a reflection night.
Well, I must say thank you all for having me. I mean, not under these circumstances, in the happiest moment. But, we all here so to celebrate the life of Anil, who I've been working with. And, still worked on. Of course, after last week, we had some discussions and some follow up with a new song, is massive hit, and it's a sad leaving is something that I think the world is so surprised that a lot of people still just believe, the agreements. It's so difficult to see, so to speak, because it just happened after a man seeing a man so on stage, and then a matter of 2 3 of him. It's crazy. Still be trying to come to terms with this.
Definitely. Virendra, you would have shared the stage days, the days
Excuse me,
when.
for some reason I'm getting problems with the audio. I'm not sure clearly. I don't know if it's on your
All
side.
right.
Could you repeat?
Let me see if it's probably my audio. I said some of the memories that you may share with Anil about when you were with GMC Triveni.
Well, I did a tribute to him. I mean, on my Instagram, Cappy Keys, and then also KI put it on his Facebook, and then Monetary had it. A couple of people reposted it. As I mentioned on my, I met Anil, and I know Anil from a very young, tender age because his family, his mom, his uncles Lakshman Bisoon, Premnath Bisoon, they were very closely affiliated to my family in Tunapuna for many years. My uncle Sital and all of them, and it was a growing thing like family. And it continued into different generations. And when Anil came to my band in 1996, 97, he was still a part of his family's band, that's Kazana, which was based in Lakpat Road in El Dorado. And those days, I remember I started to play keyboards when I said add soca into my interludes, like play calypso. And he started that with his band and all. And he was kind of, like I was kind of his favorite to do this. And he would always call me and say, Narendra, I play this style to add in some calypso in my Indian music because he was a keyboardist for the band. And, I had a lot of fun because he was a young kid growing up. I remember when he went on Mastana Bahar and he sang, Handsome Little You Just Appear in the World, and everybody was so amazed. He sang songs. I think he sang Musafir. I think there's one of the videos that's circulating right now. You want to see it. And 96, 97, yeah, then he ended up joining the band as a singer, not musician, that is, but singer. But he used to still work with his family band, and he ended up singing for my band, Triveni. He lasted, it was at least for about 10 years, 1996, 97, so around 2006. And then he decided to join Beamer, to form Beamers actually. But in that duration, with that 10 years, we had a lot of work together. I could say, and I think that Anil Beam is the most recorded Bollywood singer out of Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean. Because if you look at the CDs that we have produced with Triveni many years ago, with from GMC, come down all the way, we have almost 10, 15 CDs with Leadership 1, Leadership 2, and just come down, and he was a part of all my CDs in my bad time, coming to the early 2000s, and even his recordings as well. He did his personal singles, then he did his albums after Rhythm One. I produced that for him as well. Then
It looks like unfortunately we're not getting the audio from Virendra, so let me just check that. Unfortunately, I don't know if everyone's able to hear me, but
Yeah, I'm hearing you,
okay.
Alan. Are you? Yeah, we seems to lost Cappy's audio. Are you hearing me, Alan?
Yeah, I could hear you. So unfortunately, he might have. I
Yeah,
think he might have gotten a phone call or something, and that might end up happening. I know
yeah.
Joel's mic is
Joel, your
muted.
mic. Yeah, Joel mic is muted.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go ahead,
See,
Joel. We're not hearing you.
you
Yeah, we're
just have
not
to.
hearing Joel.
Yeah, Joel, just click on the
Yeah,
icon that has the microphone.
there we go, Joel.
Hi,
We back with us. You're
can
back
you
with
hear
us.
me? Can you hear
We're
me
hearing
now?
you
Yes.
live.
All right, Verizon, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Um,
that's correct.
Isn't it the interesting thing here tonight, right? And I always continue to say this before we go to the next person, that life is so precious, and we all take it for granted. We all take it for granted. But life is that gift that you have to return. You can't keep it. You've got to return it, huh?
That is very true.
Yeah.
That we may not want to come to grips that we have to, but it is a reality that we must face
It's
somehow or
scary.
the other. I didn't want to put it over like, oh, you just put it over, but
Scary though.
yeah, like
I am proud.
Cappy would have mentioned just now that he would have not believed that someone who would have performed a few hours ago would be taken away from the earth like that.
Just
And
never know.
that's the sad part of it. So that was parental pressure that we had. I know that we're lining up more of our guests tonight.
Where's our
Roche,
technical guy?
Roche is all busy at the end there. Good night to everyone who's there with us on
I'm
NTN
here.
TV
I'm
as
here.
well.
Yeah, Ray. For some reason, we're getting an echo delay from yours. I don't know if you have two feeds there or something like that. Just make sure nothing else is
All right,
open.
I will check. I will check
I
that.
think
I
he's
will check.
close to Joel.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Now, Ro, do we have our next guest? Veriндro is going to try to log back in just to have some.
Are you
Fine.
are you guys? Am I better? Am I better now? Or am I audio now? Am I better now?
Still
You're
echoing.
always better.
Yeah.
Oh,
Still echoing.
oh, right.
If
Yes,
you
what
don't have
it is,
if you don't
you
have
and
a
Joel,
sense
one
of
of you
humor,
guys got to mute when one is talking.
We are far apart. We're separated.
Okay.
So,
Yes,
Ro,
we
we
do
have
have
our next
Ryan.
person that's there.
Yeah, Ricky Jai
where's
is on.
Ricky Jai? I love Ricky Jai.
You're a lover of everyone. So that is okay. It's commendable. It's understandable by now.
I think Ricky connection. I think he's gonna join back in a sec.
What is your favorite? Quickly before Ricky comes on, WR. What is your favorite song of Anil?
Musafir. We have Ricky Jai on. As you were saying that.
Oh,
You
hi,
were
Ricky
saying
Jai.
that.
Hi, Joel. How are you?
You were saying
I'm
that you
good.
love Ricky Jai. That was
I was just
that's
saying
what
how
you
much
said.
I love you.
There we go. I was just
I love
verifying
you
that.
too.
All right, so let's bring Ricky to the main center there. Ray, we're still getting that echo from you. So, Ricky, thank you for joining us tonight. We know these circumstances is not circumstances a lot of the artists like yourself, but definitely one of the things is that you are one of the members of JMC Triveni while Beam was a part of that. We just had your previous band leader, Veriндro, was just on. So if you want to just tell us about your history with a man that has left us at such a young age of 48.
Um, I remember seeing Anil Beam the first time at 103. They said Premati was working at 103, so we were in the same band. Yes, and I said, of course, I already started about this kid who could into the production room. I knocked, and there was a kid busy, in a little room all by himself, and exchange presents. But he was very polite and always polite, and that really did from then to when he became when myself and Double exited. He became the singer. I watched his growth from with Katana, with Triveni,
Is
to
he mute?
his,
People.
his
One is talking, the other is mute.
creating, all those wonderful songs. So many different, other songs. The man could sing Kishore, Kumar Sanu, and I used to always tell him, brother, you are the
because definitely if he was born in India, then we would have been listening. Memories with this guy is too many to mention. We just together, and we've done so many events together. I want to tell you one thing: camaraderie was unbelievable, and his humility, his power, his presence, the ease and the confidence which he exudes, unbelievable. Natural star, born star.
Joel, any questions for the Jai Master?
The Giant Master. So, Ricky, you obviously you're from Trinidad. So is he. Did you know him at a young age growing up, or you just met him through entertainment and so?
I met him because he was Prim's son.
Oh, right. Okay. I
Were
didn't
in
know you.
GMC Trevania. Well, not GMC Trevania at the time. Big up to the Cappy, who was just on before me. Appreciate the fact that WRE has recognized the Cappy as an icon. We in Trevania had a slogan back in the day, we lead where others, and the Cappy was really a leader, an innovator,
Yeah.
and it being passed through the band, and as he rightly said, absorbing the knowledge from the Cappy and other elements to really.
Talented. Thank you.
But Anna B was from the East, so our paths would not have crossed. And I'm 10 years old. Growing up, it would have been two different scenarios.
Mhm. Good to hear from you. Good to see you.
And
I'm sure the world is shocked as I was, and it sends a signal to the rest of the entertainers out there, that maybe it's time to start checking up on health, checking up on well-being, because from what I heard, and I could be wrong, Saturday night, went home, took a shower, and then got the uncertainty of life, and the uncertainty of what can. This is an example of that, and the rest of us should take note. Process of doing that, and I urge all my fellow entertainers, young, in between, and up in age, to start taking care of yourself, because we don't know when. This was a shock to me, as it is a shock to the entire world. Last night I was at the Bollywood night, and I was of my fellow entertainers, come out and support and songs last night. Tonight, Pandit Abhiranand is there, and well, we'll offer our love and best wishes, and we for giving us all those melodious songs, in beat, his own. He was a very self-centered, wanted his own sound, and he wanted to create his own beats. He opened, and this last song that he did is his own. He did everything himself. It's unbelievable. But that just goes to show the strength of the guy, and he has gone through a lot of trials and a lot of tribulations, and as he came back to be known to everybody, really proved that you just can't give up when it comes to music or any other thing that you have a dream.
Exactly.
Him making an anthem is a tribute to anybody out there who has a dream, might not be going good for you, and then boom, it just happens. So Anil, somebody out there.
I like that part, Ricky. And I heard you talking that that we respect people like Cappy yourself, who is a veteran in the industry, to give those advice to any person, because Anil was what 49 as a young
48. He
man.
would have been
48,
49,
48.
wasn't
Yeah.
There we go. These things we ought to be cognizant of our health, and I think COVID 2 years or 2.5 years ago should have opened our eyes, on how simple or how things could be taken away from us that we so dearly loved, and that is what we see COVID did. So great advice, Ricky, to everyone to keep check of what's happening.
And Ricky, thank you for taking the time. Like I said, during this difficult, as one of your fellow fraternity brothers in this industry passing, I know this was not easy news for you to hear last weekend.
No, 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 no. And I just want to say before I leave, Alan, thanks for including me in this broadcast. And the pleasure was all mine, the privilege was all mine to share the stage so many times, to go on radio and do interviews, and always such a gentleman, always so humble, and always so treat each artist with so
Yeah, I think
much respect.
I think Ricky connection just
Unbelievable. God bless him. May he sleep in peace.
Thank you, Rick. So
Ricky Jai,
Yeah.
thank you very much for your contribution, and being part of our program. Of course, we are broadcasting live in Guyana on NTN television, and we're on social media as well. So good night to all our viewers on a multiple streaming platform and locally in Guyana. We find it fitting that we, as part of the industry, to pay tribute and to pay respects to an individual of Anil's stature.
now at this time we're gonna go into a budgeon. We just realized, I think it was the feed from Joel was causing some echoing and whatnot. But our next guest that's coming up after the budgeon has a almost 30-year history with Anil
Wow.
Bean before he was part of JMC Trevani and so forth. So that person is on deck. Thank you all being very patient with us while we were working out our little technical difficulties. And Roche, if you want to just introduce this budgeon that was beautifully done
Correct.
by our brother Anil Bean.
yes, indeed. And this is one of my favorite bhajan. And I don't know if you guys knew, but you guys know my son Arvin, and Arvin, when born, one of the bhajan he loved the most was Hanuman, the Hanuman Chalisa. And when we were in the hospital, this is what we would have played for him all the time. It's the Bolo Bolo Hanuman and the Hanuman Chalisa. And until today, it's sort of imprinted into his mind that in his sleep he can sing it. So without further ado, let's listen to the vocalist, the man who brought this to our people.
बोले बोले हनुमान बोलो भक्त सिया राम, श्री राम के चरणों में बनते बिगड़े काम। बोले बोले हनुमान बोलो भक्त सिया राम, श्री राम के चरण बिगड़े काम। बोले बोले हनुमान बोलो भक्त सिया राम।
what a beautiful bhajan. And I don't want to play the entire thing because there's another one that I'd like to play for you guys as well. And then we're going to go back to Alan and Riaz and Joel. And this one here goes to Lord Ganapati. What an amazing voice. And take a very good listen. And listen what we all fall in love with.
Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai Ganapati, Vigna Vinashahari, Ganapati, Vigna Vinahari, Ganapati, Vigna Vinashahari, Ganapati, Vigna Vinashanahari. Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai 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 Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai.
Like you said, that was the voice of the one and only the vocalist. Alan, back to you.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to make a quick mention before we go to our next guest. We have part of Team MMR of DJ Rahman that's on from Canada, and he did a phenomenal mix just the other day that I saw on TikTok and YouTube and things like that that's been going around. And there was somebody that actually, and I'll send it to you guys, there was somebody that had put together a slideshow with that song in the background of Beam from 20, 30 years ago when he was a little child and things of that nature. I don't know where they found those pictures and stuff like that, but unbelievable, unbelievable. So thank you, Rahman, for doing that, that tribute to him. Roche, if you can bring on our next guest. Like I said, this brother of mine has been with the Beamer for over 30 some odd years through his puberty days and stuff like that, becoming a man. Beam is one of the people that helped guide him down that path, being a phenomenal vocalist himself. He is just like Anil Beam in regards to the fact of doing live music, performing live, not the lip syncing and things of that nature. A former member of the JMC Triveni band, my brother, the one and only Mr. Nati Ramutar from out of Orlando. Sitaram, brother, how you doing? How you feeling?
Sitaram, assalamu alaikum, namaste, Quran Hafiz.
Alaikum salam. Well,
Good night.
before Nati goes on, Joel was excited about Nati. So go ahead, Joel. You ask Nati your first question tonight.
Nati, do you remember me?
Yes. It's been
Okay,
ages, it's been moons. I hope you're still dancing.
Okay. Oh,
Not at this
all
age.
right.
It's been a long time. I believe Florida Melody Makers in Georgia.
Oh my gosh, yes. With Neil and them.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Well,
Let
Joel,
us-
Nati is from the Flamingo days and stuff like that, being with Joel
Let me-
Rampasad and things like that. So we
Yeah,
know
me-
your
let me
history,
just-
Joel. We know your history.
I've been around.
Let me just say this to some of our viewers. We are celebrating tonight, and you will find the laughs, you will find the joys. I want to make this very clear because there's
Yeah.
some persons who are gonna take things too sensitive.
It's
But-
a celebration of his life.
It's a celebration, and that is what we're doing tonight. You may see us
Remember.
smiling, but you know what? Anil would want these moments, and all of us would have shared of some great moments. So when you see I throw that line on Joel, I'm being honest. He told me he was getting excited for Nati.
No, but you know what though? This is such an intense moment, and it's been an intense week and a very emotional week for everyone. And without a little humor, just imagine what that can do to us. So humor is important in everything. And like you rightfully said, we're celebrating his life. And he was a guy, not only of talent, but he had a lot of humor too.
And
Oh,
Natty's
yes.
like me. We're softies. You understand? This was not easy for us to hear Saturday morning. I called Natty. Natty was my second phone call in regards to I know the history that Natty has with him, and it was never going to be easy. And I keep checking on him. So, Natty, you know, we give the floor to you to talk about your history with this person. Like I said, is you said it, more than a mentor to you. You know.
You guys don't have enough time. You really don't have
Yeah.
enough time for me to go on and on. But let me go back into the 90s because that's where I started with my uncle Dilip songs. And we used to do song system for Anil's family band, which is Kazana Indian Orchestra. They also hosted Queen Yasmin and her band back in the 90s. I can remember this very clear. 4 shows.
Wow.
And out of one of the shows, I asked Anil. I always see Anil singing and singing. I would sit in the front or I would be by the mixing board, and I just shaking right now. And I could see him singing, and I would know every single song he sang, song after song after song, weeks after weeks, weekend after weekend, and I always wanted to be like Anil Bean. I grew up saying that is my idol. I defend him when I have to. I migrated to the US. I left out Trinidad and I went back to Trinidad in 2000, and I joined up with JMC Triveni. And from being a young kid idolizing Anil Beam and having him write me my first Indian song, learning my first Indian song, um, and then to be on a stage with him, performing weekends after weekends, touring, it was a dream come true. And I didn't lose a friend. I lost my guru. I, I lost a brother, and everyone who has been impacted by passing have also been touched by Anil. They, he has touched so many people's lives. People want to be him, singing vocally, training themselves. I myself too have been singing from a tender age, trying to be like Anil Beam, and his memories is gonna just live on, live on, live on, live on, and just go with me. I'm gonna take that till the end, and
And
I'm sure a lot of people is going to take that as well. There's so many stories I could tell you about Anil Beam from the 90s, go right up until now. We were very good friends. We never really talk like on an everyday basis, but when we do talk, the brotherly love is always there. We were working on a song also, and we didn't release it. So
When
after everything is done, I'm gonna talk to Cheryl and see what we can do with that. But it's not
also,
my first collaboration with Anil, and um,
well, I know in the
I don't know.
background you have one of the people that's also been a part of him, that was part of Beamas and so forth like that. Joey Ramutar is in the back there. Joey's with you.
Yeah, he's
Another
right here.
talented young man.
Yeah, he's not gonna come on this thing here right now. He's also in a mess. I've been checking on him frequently. Everybody's been checking on each other, making sure everybody's good, even back home. And Albim is practically my family as well, from growing up from small, knowing his entire family. His aunt is actually married to my wife's um, uh, father, sister. So we're family, and it it's really, really, really tough right now for everyone. I want to say hats off to Cappy and Ricky Jai, two legends, legends.
I agree.
And we
I
and
agree.
we not focusing on we legends, and they just going one by one, one by one. So big up to Cappy, big up to one of my idol as well, Ricky Jai. I remember when I was just 7 years, Ricky Jai was singing in my school, my primary school, keep it pumping and them kind of thing. And
Some
growing
intro.
up, yeah, growing up with these guys, performing on the same stage with them, it was all a dream come true. I could call names upon names upon name. I've been in this thing for so long, people don't even know. They just start
As
seeing me
as
coming out
long
singing.
as long as long as Joel was dancing since those
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
Yes.
Hey.
Listen,
In
I saw
Flamingo.
I saw Joey Ramotar did a tribute and a piece
Yeah.
for Anil, and it was fantastic and emotional and riveting.
Yeah, he's like I said, he's here, but he wouldn't come on the camera.
He's so talented,
Yeah,
talented young man.
hats off
Well,
to Joey as well. Joey, he put in his work as well in Beamers, and he had his fair share and time, as we all did. And he's going to be really, really missed, especially in
tomorrow.
in his family at home right now, his children, his wife, his grandkids. You know, um, I pray for them and I ask God to give them the strength because that's what they need right now. We could say as much loving words, but prayers go a long way, and
Mhm.
we all need to keep the family, uplift the family, and let's give him a nice send off, man. It's a nice send off.
Definitely.
Nati, thank you for taking
Definitely.
the time to join us. One of your
Thank you,
fellow
Natty.
brethren and former bandmates is up next. Bobby Mohan of Workshop 868 is coming up next. Nati,
So,
thank you again. And
Natty, thank you for making your contribution with us tonight.
Hey, thank you, NTN TV, Team MMR, Wheating Radio, Abby Tunes, all you
Thank you.
guys. Joel, nice seeing you again.
See you too.
You
Y'all
guys
could
take care
exchange
and thank
numbers.
you.
Y'all could exchange IG and numbers a little bit later.
Later.
yeah,
Take care.
thank
Take
you,
care.
Nat.
Thank you so
So,
much.
Awesome.
with that being
So
said, Roche, do you want to bring on Bobby Mohan of Workshop 868? Bobby was one of the guitar members of Trevani back in the days, as well as Bobby and his family have their own band and has done a couple of projects with Beam as recently as last year, was just recently released. So my brother, Mr. Bobby Mohan of Workshop 868, is in the studio in South Trinidad right now. Um, went through a shocking ordeal as well as myself Saturday morning when I had shared the news with them. And Bobby, thank you for joining us this evening. I know you have your band practice and thing that's going on.
I
Um,
see like
Oh,
Bobby is gonna give us a song probably. I'm seeing
yes. Well, good
I
night,
think
Mr.
Bob,
Riaz, Mr.
good night,
Joel,
Bobby.
Alan,
Good night.
and Mr. Roshan. Pleasant good night. Thank you for having me
Night.
on this little tribute. Yes, Riaz, we had a little rehearsal, but we stopped just for this. We putting together something. We have something
Nice.
Sunday, so we came together to do some. But this is no problem. You understand? So
We
is
appreciate it.
of course, as always, sending out the love and respect always to the icons and this being Beam and is a shocker to the world. I mean, there's no secret. He has shocked the world. I mean, going to the beyond, and you could see he's going out with a blast that he deserved. He really deserved this blast for the contribution he has made to our musical industry.
He has made immense contribution. I did was it Cappy? No, it was Ricky Jai that mentioned that he thinks Anil Beam would have been one of the most recorded Caribbean artists when it comes to Bollywood tracks. And
Yes, I would.
I could be
Yeah, well, I would want to believe that. Yes.
I would want to believe the same as well. But Bobby, some memories, something that stand out to you. I mean, we're
Oh,
trying to get a different side from everyone tonight as we
well,
share and
okay.
celebrate Anil.
Well, I knew Anil from the Kazana days, just like Nati was talking about, being in the older bands and we used to bounce up. We never knew each other, anything, right? But subsequently, we met like in Trevani. Oh, before that, I think like in shows and thing, and we met. But one of the significant thing is when we formed the Beamers band. I was a founding member of the Beamers band. I actually gave him the name Beamers for his own man because he had launched it. There's a whole story. He has so many stories. He launched it as players and there's a whole history. So we used to argue back and forth and whatnot and things. So it was so much fun memories. One of something that could stick out is that when he was doing one of his albums, I think that we was on tour and he said, Bob, I want you to do guitars on my CD, right? Forget price and one thing, Anil respects his musicians, right? I would say that he's one guy. Beside the money issues, he always has this thing for musicians because he loves music so much. He himself is a phenomenal musician and all-round singer. He's so much that he really paid that kind of respect to musicians, whoever they may be, and thing. And he said, Bob, I'm waiting for you to come back. And he actually, and one of the significant songs was Agar Tumna Hote. I did guitars on that song. And it will, beside Kia Piad, what we did, the collab with our band, Workshop 868 and him, I would always remember that. And it's so memorable. He actually waited. I thought he was fooling around, giving me the, that before we teamed up with the Beamers and that would always remain with me. And it felt so good and encouraging.
Definitely, everyone is giving us their stories, their intake on Anil Beam. I know it is tough to the world. I was just reading a message from someone on social media here saying that where did it go? It went away. That she loved all his music, but she never met him. And Anil would have gotten fans and friends or fans. Like that, like an artist as well. I love all his music, but I've never met him. This is Sophie Kisses saying that, and I'm sure that there are many other persons on the live. Is anyone from Guyana going to the funeral tomorrow? Or Sophie? Well, myself and Joel was scheduled to go to that funeral, and I'll answer this quickly. Currently, both of us are involved in quite a few projects for the Ministry of Culture in Guyana. And we are tasked with activities that we technically, if we're to go, it is really gonna throw out a lot of others. That is depending on our way forward. We were hoping that the funeral is gonna be by the end of the week at one time, and Joel and I had discussed that we were gonna be going to that funeral. Unfortunately, we cannot be there present, and our work. I know it is a funeral, which is something significant to represent, but we are forced to remain here to complete some of our works that we have on hand. And I hope that would have answered that question for that person on the live altogether.
Just before we let Bobby go, one of the things that I know of, and Bobby could speak about this because Bobby just recently, late last year, had a release that he did with Beam. Beam is a perfectionist in regards to what he's putting out there, in regards to how he records his vocals and the keys and so forth like that. So Bobby, why don't you let everybody know a little bit of background in regards to what it's like working with Beam on that production and side of things?
With that particular production as Kia Piad, we always back and forth with music. So he would send it and say, Bob, what do you think about this? If you could do a guitar track on this for me, what's your vibes on them kind of thing, right? So sometimes we honestly we butt heads sometime, right? He's gone, but so, like everybody, we sometimes we butt heads. I may say yes, I don't like it. He would tell me the same thing. But when I told him I had a project, but Beam, he said, why send anything? Let me vibes it, and I go tell him my honest opinion. If me I feel it, well, you know what's going on. But when I sent it for him, he said, you know what? I think that's going to be a tick. And we was back and forth because he really funny with his the end product because he wants it as a song a particular way. He said, you know what? I think it's too bassy, or I think you could do it this way. Let me tweak it because it is Beam, and Alan, Beam, right? So if we work, and I'm always happy for advice, and you know that personally, Alan. Mm-hmm. So we back and forth until we get right. And I'm also with the music, and I wanted a particular way too because our style, our genre, and the experience was nice. And it's not like I was not custom with him because we always used to be in the band room working out music and getting things done to present it in the early Beamers with Ravi Suku, Sunil, Roger. We used to be together working out the music together. So it was a great experience once more.
Well, Bobby, thank you very much. We know it's Joel. Unfortunately, you're muted. Just make sure and mute yourself. Just click on the mic.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So just wrapping up, did you had a favorite song or project that you worked with him on and that you liked personally?
I enjoyed that playing guitars and doing Agar Tumna Hote with Beam. That was one of my personal favorite doing with Anil. It was really a personal one for me.
Yeah.
Well,
Good to see
thank you,
you.
Bobby, for taking the time. Like I said, I know we all know for the industry and the world as a whole, this is not an easy time
Yes.
right now, as well as for you that's been very close with
Yeah,
Beam.
a great loss.
And I know, I believe that you and the family is going to try to head up there tomorrow.
Of
So,
course,
again,
yes. Yes.
blessings to you all. And once again, thank you very much for taking the time and joining
Thank
us
you for
tonight.
having me part of this.
Thank you.
All right.
Now we're going to go to Roche, that's going to play another one of. Beam has been known for a lot of Bollywood things, but definitely in regards to Budgeons, that he did 2 CDs, they're iconic. And Roche is going to go to one of his Budgeons now. Thank you.
Well, I was trying to think which would be the next bhajan that I should play. And, Anil has so much, but I think this one speak to who he is. So I hope you guys enjoy this one.
मत कर तू अभिमान रे बंदे, झूठी तेरी शान रे। मत कर तू अभिमान, मत कर तू अभिमान रे बंदे, झूठी तेरी शान रे। मत कर तू अभिमान, मत कर तू अभिमान, मत कर तू अभिमान, अभिमान, अभिमान। मत कर तू अभिमान। माटी में समाए, तेरे जैसे लाखों आए, लाखों इस माटी में समाए। रहना नमो निशान बंदे, मत तू अभिमान, मत कर तू अभिमान रे बंदे, झूठी तेरी शान रे। मत कर तू अभिमान, मत कर तू अभिमान, मत कर तू अभिमान, अभिमान, मत कर तू अभिमान,
मत कर तू अभिमान. What a beautiful message. And for those of you who knows, like all my brothers, that knows Anil, that would be the message he would want to deliver and to share. That we all must remove Abhiman, remove egos, remove negativity, and live in a positive way. Alan?
I know we're gonna get ready for our next guest. Is I believe is the next guest already in backstage?
Yes.
Okay, Reyes, you want to go ahead and introduce our next guest?
Oh, I think his connection just dropped, but he'll be back on.
Yeah, we're not hearing Ray. Double check that. So Roche, you go ahead and introduce our next guest then, please.
Al, I think he just dropped off. He'll be back in a few.
Yeah, Joel, you're muted as well. So if you want to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we're hearing you.
So
Yes.
last night, we've just listened to an inspirational bhajan, right? So last night I saw, as part of the wake in Trinidad, where a lot of the artists got together, and one by one, they were just serenading and remembering and paying, their tribute to him. Ravi B was one of them that was on there last night. Did any of you get to see that?
Yes, I did. Mhm.
Isn't that beautiful? It was so beautiful. Ravi B,
Hey, what's up, guys? Good night.
good night to you. We were just talking. First of all, welcome to this, and thank you for joining us. Thank you for making the time. I was just telling the guys that last night I saw you paying your tribute to Anil at the wake.
Mm-hmm. Anil was very, very close to me. Not only a colleague, but as a media associate, and also, I grew up with him. Sat in the orchestra. He watched me things and really contributed to that I may encounter now to help me be a. So, the week was really heartfelt, I think, for everyone, and performing there last night. I think that it was a different feeling. So, and
Sitaram Rav, once again, condolences to you and the industry. I know one of the things with you, any stage that you happen to touch down this weekend, gone, after hearing that news, you made sure and you definitely paid tribute to him. Beam was part of one of your CDs from back in the days, if I remember correctly. I believe it was Carmageddon. Was that the CD that he was a part of?
it would be Evolution.
Evolution.
Yeah, I know it was Evolution for sure, but he would be a feature on like 12.
I think that Evolution CD. I think that Evolution CD had a yellow Evo in front of it. If I'm correct, I may be wrong.
But look at that.
There we go. That's it. You see that? I told you. You see, you don't question a car guy.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't paying attention to what's happening on the CD, I was just paying attention to the car. But Ravi, Anil, and you would have. There we go. That's it. Right there. You see, that's an Evo 5. Yeah, that's an Evo 5. Yeah, that's a Mitsubishi Evolution 5.
Now, back then, Rav, you were very young. Even though you were seasoned in the industry from D. Rampersad days and so forth, bringing on Beam into one of your productions, what made you guys want to do that, right? Bringing Beam in. What gave you guys that foresight and say, yo, we need him on a part of this production?
Well, he was a really close friend of ours, Karma, and in new band coming out, we went of collaboration. Being that Anil Beam was such a man, he was a friend. And when I say media friend, a lot of people, Nisha and I, we were, and Anil Beam worked at 1 or 3 of. As much as that might sound like we battled, really, really good friends, and he would always get. He was just a cool soul. Yeah, I was talking to also to Vishma, and we were talking about, well, wait, Anil Beam never really followed with nobody. Like, he was always friends with everybody.
That's great. But Rav, can you remember last time you both shared the stage together, or probably at an event? when you and Beam would have probably bounced up on a stage. Maybe we're somewhere in the world.
That last time for Thanksgiving in New York, our Thanksgiving event, on that was the last time I saw Beam, because
that would have been one of Booby events if I'm
Bobby's-
now
I
as
think
you
it was
know
called
talking.
Kings and Queens,
Yeah.
right? I think that was the name of it for Thanksgiving or something like that.
yeah,
Mhm.
and back we were talking about doing a collaboration long overdue, like because it's like it's me, Anil, and my brother. We just call each other Wotungs. So it's like
Yeah.
it's time, it's time. The last Sonam and before that was all like almost 10 years period is here. So let me just do a next collaboration.
Mhm.
And this guy was so calm, like he was like the last person doing something so tragic could happen to, and it's just so unfortunate. Like when I woke up to that news, unfortunate.
Definitely, Ravi. We definitely appreciate your time, that you take time out. I must say goodnight to everyone. It's not only a social media live. We are live on NTN TV in Guyana. We're going until 10 o'clock with this live as well. So good night to all our viewers in Guyana, in Berbice, in Essequibo, all across Guyana. We appreciate your company, and everyone on social media, on all our networks tonight, on YouTube also. Thank you. It shows you that Anil Beam has touched the hearts of not only fans, but he's touched the hearts of musicians as well, and personalities like yourself, Ravi.
The Anil Beam was always a good friend to me, and not Anil, the family, and not just beyond the culture, but like good father. He was a good husband. He was definitely a good friend and a colleague. I mean, there would never be another Anil Beam.
Well, Ravi, thank you very much. We know this is not easy on you as well as your other brothers and sisters in this fraternity. That this shocking news that everybody has to try to come to terms with, and we wish you best of luck of getting through the this tomorrow. We know it's not going to be an easy day for a lot of people, and once again, on behalf of each and every one of us here, thank you for taking the time. We know it's a crazy carnival season for Ravi B and Karma, and be safe out there, brother, and all the best to you and the family.
I just want to say condolences one more time again, and to all his fans. I mean, as they would say right now, to Anirat, the anthem, he will be missed, and I'm so sorry to be. I mean, we are all suffering this situation at Beam, and may his may God guide him a place where his soul. Yeah, man.
Bodo, Ravi, thanks so much for being part of our discussion tonight. As we've all been saying at the beginning, is we are celebrating the life of Anil Beam through tributes, through musicians, through friends, and you being part of our life tonight adds a contribution. It is a Wednesday night. The funeral is tomorrow. So if you wonder what Alan Gopi was talking about, it's going to be tough tomorrow. We're aware of that, but we pray for the strength to the family and fans of Anil. His memories definitely will live on, all as it is. Thank you, Ravi.
Guys, have a good night.
That's right. So that's Ravi B, who've joined us. Ravi B, the lead singer for Karma, not a stranger to our audience, Roche and Alan. Joel, your take so far. Your mic, your mic.
Unmute yourself, Joe.
Need to unmute. You need to
Unmute.
There we
Okay.
go.
I was saying tomorrow, of course, is the funeral, and there's a live stream, I believe, right, WR?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
103 FM's Facebook page. I just put the link in the feed there, but we will, Team MMR, Abbey Tunes Radio, as well as myself, will make sure and post it on our different platform pages, Weeting Radio, and so forth, for you all to have it. It is 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in Trinidad and Guyana. It is at 9 a.m. is when they start. The live feed is being actually, the ceremony and everything is being done by His 103 FM family, is what's making sure and put everything in place to be able to provide everyone across the world to be a part of this experience tomorrow. One of the things I just wanted to mention, one of my very good friends, a dear sister of mine, is locked in, Sharon Mirage, who lives in Miami and actually works for the consulate office of Trinidad and Tobago in Miami, and she's one of the voices of 103 from back in the days. Everybody knows Sharon if you're in Trinidad from there. And one of the things that she wrote that I just want to mention is Sharon had said, "I worked with Anil at 103 FM for many years. He was the kindest and took pride in his job. He started as an operator, sound engineer, and worked his way up to the graveyard shift, then got his big break to host the afternoon drive, catch the rhythms. He was respectful to everyone he met. He was humble and generous. It goes without saying he will be missed." Sharon, thank you very much for taking that time to send us a note, and for everyone to get just a little brief history of how he started with 103 FM as an operator, sound engineer. So, most people probably don't even know that. So thank you very much, Sharon, and condolences to you and the family, as this is one of your brothers in the industry that you have to say departure to.
So someone is saying, I'll read this one on Facebook. As I glance Facebook again, people had asked, how can you cry so much for a person you never met and he didn't know me as well, but I have a personal connection with Anil Beam through his music. Love him so much. He's touched. This is Sophia comment as I glance Facebook as it is. He definitely touched quite a lot. How as our timing goes, it's about 20 minutes after 9 in Guyana, that is. Who's next on our panel? Joel, you were saying something? Joel, you and this mic. I don't know why Joel is troubling the microphone. Why are you troubling it?
Oh, I'm not. It's going off on its own and coming off. I'm not touching anything. Anyway,
You want me to blame one?
I was saying that Anil's mom, right? You all know that she was a very talented singer of the day with me in my genre, right? And
You
he
were
was
singing?
talented.
You were
Prima-T.
No, you were singing? I was just finding out. Okay, go ahead.
Well, Joel
Did you
back
know-
in those days was part of a group that he represented our West Indian culture in New York from back in the days, Ray, from the
He
90s
still
and so forth.
represented. I tell you, he
80s.
still the 80s.
Well, yeah, he still is up to now, but back in those days,
I wasn't
it
born.
was-
I wasn't born then. So that's good.
no, but back in those days, it was very handful, and Joel could tell you, Soca Paradise is one of the icons that brought our culture to the U.S. They were the only ones that were doing shows and things like that, and then it branched as when the community got bigger, as well as that. But Joel and D-Raj was probably the first two Guyanese representation for the dance side, and then you had Terry, which was the only real Guyanese singer back in those days.
Yeah.
And then it goes from there. But
And
from
they-
Trinidad,
And
Panti Premati and Cecil Funrose and Sundar Popo, then you have Kanchan. and then there's-
Raji Prabhu, Sally
Right.
Edwards, Raj Day Singh, Sita Pandey, Devendra Puran, and it just blossomed.
that's how this culture started to grow. Before the Raymonds and them, before they came out there and so forth,
Yeah, but what I'm
do we
saying
have
is,
anyone else? Do we have anyone else queue up? Roche, we have anyone else queued in?
We have our next artist from Guyana will be joining us in about 10 minutes. But in the meantime, I do have another very popular song of Anil that when you listen to it, like that one person who was on the live before had said, how can you love someone so much when you don't know the person? And I think this song will certainly bring that feelings. So what do you guys say?
Let's
I
go.
think you should play.
Yeah, just be careful with Joel crying over there.
All right, Joel, I promise you will cry for this one.
Oh Lord, bro, this
तू
one.
बदन है मैं हूँ छाया, तू ना हो तो मैं कहाँ हूँ। मुझे प्यार करने वाले तू जहाँ है मैं वहाँ हूँ। हमें मिलना ही था हमदम, किसी राह भी निकलते ओ किसी राह भी निकलते ओ हमें मिलना ही था हमदम, किसी राह भी निकलते। ये कहा आ गए हम, यूं ही साथ साथ चलते। तेरी बाहों में है जानम, मेरी जिस्म जहाँ पिघलते ओ तेरी बाहों में है जानम, किसी राह भी निकलते। ये कहा आ गए हम, यूं ही साथ साथ चलते। तेरी बाहों में है जानम, मेरी जिस्म जहाँ पिघलते ओ तेरी बाहों में है जानम, किसी राह भी निकलते। ये कहा
And since Ravi just joined us, I would like to play crossfade this one in, and this one here is Anil and Ravi B, and it goes like this.
कितने भी तू कर ले सितम, हंस हंस के सहेंगे हम। ओ कितने भी तो कर ले सितम, हंस हंस के सहेंगे हम। ये प्यार ना होगा कम, सनम तेरी कसम हो सनम, तेरी कसम सनम, तेरी कसम। ओ कितने भी तो कर ले सितम, हंस हंस के सहेंगे हम। ये प्यार ना होगा कम, सनम तेरी कसम हो सनम, तेरी कसम सनम, तेरी कसम। जितना कर पाएगी मुझको, उतना ही तड़पेगी तू भी। जो आज है आरज़ू मेरी, वो कल तेरी आरज़ू होगी। ओ जितना कर पाएगी मुझको, उतना ही तड़पेगी तू भी। जो आज है आरज़ू मेरी, वो कल तेरी आरज़ू होगी। ये झूठ नहीं सच है सनम, सनम तेरी कसम हो सनम, तेरी कसम सनम, तेरी कसम।
I like my brother W.R. Riaz, and Alan says, tonight we are here to celebrate life of an individual that paved the ways, that set so many standards in our community. And what we're doing here tonight is just a minute a very little part of what he have done over the decades. And with that being said, you're seeing just a few individuals. Unfortunately, we couldn't get everyone on the program
Yeah.
tonight. If we did,
Yep.
we would probably need the whole week and probably more to get everybody to do that. But to introduce you even more how diversified he is, this is Anil Beam.
कितना प्यारा वादा है इन मत वाली आंखों का इस मस्ती में सूझे ना क्या करवा लूं हाँ मोहे संभाल कितना प्यारा वादा है इन मत वाली आंखों का इस मस्ती में सूझे ना क्या कर डालूं हाय मोहे संभाल ओ साथिया ओ बेलिया ओ साथिया ओ बेलिया कितना प्यारा वादा है इन मत वाली आंखों का इस मस्ती में सूझे ना क्या कर डालूं हाँ मोहे संभाल it's the showstopper alongside the beam combination style wicked well versatile हो जाला या अंधेरा कहीं ना छूटे हाथ मेरा कोई मेरा ना तेरे बिन पिया निभाना साथ मेरा गोरा 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 ये अंग तोरा पागल मोहे बना दिया कितना प्यारा वादा हिम्मत वाली आंखों का इस मस्ती में सूझे ना क्या कर डालूं हाँ मोहे संभाल कितना प्यारा वादा कितना कितना
So someone
No.
just requested Ishq. I'm just gonna play a little piece of it, Al, and then we come to you.
But before we get into
Right,
that,
because
Ron,
keep
I
it-
just want to I just want to say something quickly, right?
Yes.
Beam is one of the very few artists that sounds better live than his recordings, because in a live settings, what you're hearing right now is not even 50% of the sweetness of his voice, right? And Roshi was just a few years ago when Ranjiv had did the Mother's Day show up in Maracas. We had Beam, we had Ki, Nival Chetlal, Vikash Sahadeo, GV was also, well, it was GV's show, Anil, Mr. Dunia. And during that show, he went live a cappella, and we had them guys was backing him up. Giron and Avinash was Avinash from Shakti Strings was part of KI in the band at that day, and their freestyle it still to this day raises the pores on my skin
That
because
is
of
the video that I saw been circulating. I saw it.
Thank you to Melissa Paul that had that video when I just mentioned it the other day, and she sent it out there, and she
But
tagged
you were
myself.
filming
and
the. But you were filming. Where's yours?
I can't find it. You understand? This is the unfortunate, and I
I
was
saw-
on there, and
I
because
saw
of
you.
GV,
I saw you.
that is one of the most epic memories of my life of with Beam, because he made everybody better while he was singing with them, and he forced all of them to sing live, and this is something that is of him, right? He helps other people elevate and reach a different standard when they're on that stage with him, and what you're hearing right now is just not even a little bit of how talented this person is.
I'll tell you, before we go to the next, or before we go to Roche, we actually have 40 minutes to go, because I think we started at NTN a few minutes later. So we have
Well,
40
if we could
minutes.
get
So
to any of the artists in them, because I know look,
Yeah,
GV's locked
so-
in, and GV's like, when I booked him, I asked him to bring vintage Beam. GV, I love you. I know this is hard on GV as well as a lot of us. GV is part of his life, and this is just hard.
yeah, so if we do have anyone else in the queue, Roche, you bring them in, because we do have about just about 40 minutes. And what I mean by that is also, guys, we are live in Guyana on NTN television, which is taking across the country as well. So we do have a time stipulation as we run with the network to put us on through across, of course, we are across social media on various platforms and YouTube Live. To all the fans who are making their contributions and their tributes, we appreciate it. Your stories that you're sharing with us, we definitely appreciate it all tonight. So, Roche, advise us, do we have anyone in the queue?
Not at the moment. They're some of them, like Joel, they're fixing themselves up.
All right, so we have Naz.
I was just told
Yan
that
saying-
Amir should be in the background there.
All right, so I have, so while we check for him, Naz is telling us, Naz Yan is saying, I don't know him, I never met him, but I cried and I still cried just hearing his name and listening to his songs. Rest in peace, Anil Beam.
But hi, can you hear me?
We're listening to you, Joel. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, WR. You know, I'm listening to his songs and I'm listening to all of what you all are saying, what people are putting on social media and all that kind of stuff. And I'm genuinely thinking, sitting here thinking, especially when you hear these music, right? It really reminds you how important life is. And I may keep sounding redundant, but I'm telling you, it is so important to understand that tomorrow is just promised to no one, right? We're all here tonight and we are all paying tribute and we're talking about Anil, and rightfully so, with respect and love to him, his family, and he's lost his life. But in reality, right, we don't know who is next and how this ends for all of us. And I'm telling you all, for me, it's pretty scary. Some people I know say they're not scared of death. I'm petrified of death. I really am. Right. And I listen to all of Anil's songs and I'm thinking here how precious life is and how important it is that when we wake up tomorrow morning that and you see light, and I try to do this and remember every morning, so say thank you God that I'm alive, and try to do one act of kindness every day of your life. And an act of kindness doesn't mean that you have to give your expensive shoes or your child or anything. An act of kindness can be as simple as a smile to someone.
If you want
change
to
that
buy me,
person's day.
if you want to buy me a Louis Vuitton, it's fine. I could tell my shoe size.
I will buy
It's
you
okay.
anything. I'll give you the world.
Oh wow! Well, here's
Oh
what
wow.
we have. Who we have right now? We have the privilege of meeting one of the other most iconic person. He has changed the music industry leaps and bounds. First, Caribbean Dolby Atmos studio in the Caribbean that's down there. You understand? If you want something done right, you understand? That smile that you're seeing there in that studio, that's where you want to be at. One of my longtime brothers and as an icon across the world. We have the privilege of having Mr. Rishi Mahatu with us tonight that has worked countless things with the Beamer, as well as every single artist that's probably touched this planet has gone through this studio. Rishi, thank you for taking the time and joining us tonight.
Before I bring Rishi in, right, as you talk on that, every single one, because listen, WRES is not a singer, but I have a Maha studio production. Yeah.
He made you a singer, yes.
I was about to say that. I was. But let's focus back on Anil. Rishi, a shocker, I'm sure.
Well, good night to all the listeners. Saturday morning with one set of messages on my phone. I thought it was a mistake or a prank. I mean, just getting up to this really be at 100 and I'll get up. So it took us really going on. And then when I called to just confirm, and then she said, Pastor, it's like, you don't even believe that. I still think, well, that's everything will get back to normal just now. So, but the only thing sure about life is, and however you go, that is just the excuse, because the physical excuse to say, well, all right, that is pastor, this is the reason why, but the reason I kind of try to understand what really went on. But when the time comes,
Definitely.
it's always so difficult, this situation, especially the yeah. So I still
Now, Rish,
I still haven't come to pass.
sorry, it's a little. Unfortunately, your connection is just a little bit choppy, but
He said that he still can't come to pass due to the situation.
now, Rish, one of the things I had mentioned before, and you know, just as yourself, Beam was a perfectionist as well as you're a perfectionist in regards to anything that you put your hands on, you touch, and things like that. What is one of your memories of Beam in the studio where you guys butted heads to take something to the next level? What is one of those productions that's out there that anytime you hear it, you remember clear as day that recording session working with him?
But I wouldn't say it was an era, was a period because in the days when it was with Triveni, with Virendra, it with the Silsila and those kind of things, basically, Gata, all that was done together with all those albums, 2, 3. So and back then, style of music was changing. We didn't even maybe realize it, but music, and that kind of a new landscape for the music to where it is right. But I mean, back then we used to work by World B Studios in Tonapona. So Anil will leave to come and drop me back home. Every night we would stop by Curia. I mean, well, good times, man. We was always trying to do the best we could do and best level possible.
The toughest
Rish,
question
I just have one quick question I want to ask him. Now, everybody's saying Virendra was on earlier and things like that, as well as Nati, that Beam is probably the most recorded artist in the Caribbean.
I was about that. That is exactly what I was about to get at.
Can you say yes, you agree with that statement? Because that's probably is true that Beam probably has the most recorded songs in the Caribbean, between our Bollywood.
Well, yeah. So when it comes to the Bollywood industry, I would say I probably work with him plus other solo songs every maybe what 75 to 100.
75 to 100. You alone with him.
Yeah, I mean I could be a little average 5 albums, 12 songs. It would maybe was even more. Plus other albums, all those kind of things over the years. So it's a lot.
Ray, anything you want to say to Rishi before we let him go?
I was about to get to that same question altogether. Rishi, we thank you. Continue making good music as we meet up after a little while via this connection. Joel, do you have anything for Maha? Your mic.
Hey, Maha, since you've made WR a singing star, I'd like for you to take me on. I got this fantastic song I'd like to do. I'd like to give you the job and recruit you as my producer.
Yeah, no problem. We could
Well, Reyes sang "Pretty Girls," so I don't know what you're gonna sing.
No, the one that Maha did was Catching Feelings.
Oh,
So right
Catching
now,
Feelings.
I feel Joel is just catching feelings right now.
A lot of feelings.
A lot of feelings. Rishi, we are celebrating Anil's life tonight, and we all gonna smile because
look who's in the background there.
what's happening?
Real working out guys, and Maha, you got to get guns like Brian back there, you know. Understand?
Yeah.
Right, big ups, big ups, big ups. Um, Thank you so much for taking the time out, though, Rishi, to being part of this journey of what we are expanding on the life of Anil Beam. And yeah, and I'll say this again: we may smile and we make a joke, but it is remembering.
We need that. It is
It is
important.
remembering. It is remembering Anil in different perspective. If you listen, everyone tonight shared with us different stories, and that is what we wanted tonight's program and tribute to bring. So, Rishi, thank you so much for being part of our broadcast tonight.
Thank you, Rish.
Well, you're welcome again. Um, pass my life and Anil's mom, as all the close relatives and friends. I mean, I come to I can understand how they handle it right now. Um, I know God is with them and it will work out good for them.
Thank you so much, Rishi.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Yes, Roche.
All right.
We have. I see. Thank you, Roche. We do have our next guest backstage, so I will let Roshan bring in our next guest. I'll tell you this, without a doubt, a legend in
Another
the
legend.
industry. Another legend in the industry. Um, I've said this in many times. Before I let him say anything, I've told him this, that he's been a mentor for many, and I'm one of those individuals. I've seen this gentleman on stage as a little boy growing up, and to share the stage with him, to introduce him, and to be on stage with him, it gives me great pride. So, the Babu, the living legend.
He looking
Namaste.
young though.
Fresh
I
as
wonder what
ever.
face cream you're using.
All the
Oh,
time.
Coconut oil, boy.
You're looking good.
hey, hey, you hear that? Coconut oil. Terry G, welcome. Our expert technician tonight is busy. His hands is all over the place. Roshan,
Yeah.
That's all right.
I understand.
First thing Terry says, bye, Mega, watch you. So we got to make sure everything is going right tonight. But indeed, you rightfully said, WR, um, we're indeed lucky and happy and everything to have that which represent Guyana and fly the flag of Guyana around the world to join with us here today. So we're gonna hand it over to Terry G.
Thank you so much. Good night, everyone. And so nice. I appreciate the opportunity. I'll go all the way back. Joel Gansham, you will remember this. I was so fortunate, so honored, so lucky to have performed with. We did this in Toronto, Canada. Compliments of Mr. Ken Singh, Bright Star Productions. Because of those events, I was so lucky ever, to have shared the stage with Anil's mom, Premati Beam, Sundar Popo, Sunny, Ramdev Chaitu, Kanchan, all the old ones. I was just coming on this, and Anil Bhim, one of the most amazing voices, and such a classy gentleman. Apart from the music, so that is something on the side. But I remember meeting Anil. It was back in the 90s, 1994. Bright Star Productions again took us to was at 103 FM with Aruna Muhammad and the rest of the crew. And at that time, Anil was not even a broadcaster, presenter, or announcer. Oh my God, it was such a pleasure to meet him. He was so enthusiastic. And when I finally heard Anil Beam's voice, I mind blown to have heard this. At that time, he was maybe 19 or 20, can be more than that, but it was amazing. And with Anil, and lucky to also have performed with his daughter, Prithvi, Shama Sundar. And I remember Sham Sundar, Premati Beam, and I want to take this opportunity to thank all you gentlemen here, Joel, WR, Alan, Mr. Roche, for putting this together. Let's have the greatest voices. His voice is simply amazing. And let me tell you another story. I don't want to take too much of the time, but if you go in my car, first, Bole Bole Hanuman, because I'm a huge Hanuman devotee, and all the other songs, that he has sung, especially the bhajans. I listen to this one to popularize Sare Zamane Pe, and like all of us fell in love, Gata Rahe. It's like song after song, tune after tune. So many people who have heard his music but did not know it was Anil Beam until his passing. So he has gained so many more. There's so much more we can speak about, but the only regret, one single regret, man, is he always hit me up. Ter, when we do ready, Ter, you have the tune. That's my only regret, but everything else, such a good human being. I had such a wonderful time of the late great Anil Beam, and he is in heaven there, still singing with all the legends, He has always shown love to everyone, and see love until you give love. You cannot get respect until you give respect.
Exactly.
And those are little things that a lot of our chutney fraternity has to learn. But thank you, Jer. Heartfelt condolences to his loving family, Prithvi, Cheryl, Premati. Oh my God, I love her so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Ter,
Blessings.
one of the things that I just wanted to mention, you shared many stages with him and stuff like that, and a statement was used last night during the wake that you could justify this for everybody that's locked in listening. Nishat Sultan of Gaia Tones and RG the Band had said that Beam is the share king. You understand? And I know that because I feel it, because when Beam busts out a share, your whole insides just shake. You understand?
Oh, yeah.
The building does rock and everything like that. And you being a performer and a appreciation of great vocals and things like that. Tell us a little bit about that. Like when you're backstage and you hear him bust out a share and bust out whatever the case may be, what goes through you as an entertainer watching this on stage?
Man, and as you were talking about the share, goosies, oh my God. It's like, oh my God, so many memories, honestly so. And I got to tell you, talk about share, Om Burbo Aswa on his CD, Treasured Bhajans. I hope somebody can share it in that channel. And yes, he don't need any music to sound good. Just his voice alone, magical.
Thank you for the stories. Thank you for your time, Terry. A living legend, an icon in the industry. Terry Gadraj, friends, fans around the world, not a stranger. Mr. Babu, thanks.
Thank you very much for being an inspiration. Like W.R. Riaz says, you're an inspiration for him, that he can go 100 floors in the air and create miracles in life. You understand? So
we'll get more upset. Don't do that.
We thank you.
Don't do
so one of the people that's next. That's up next is actually a current member of his band that he has groomed. He's still a young man. So Roche, if you want to go ahead. Terry, once again,
Terry,
thank you very much, brother, and peace and blessings to you.
As we continue live, of course, from Guyana, from Florida, from New York, around the world. Go ahead, Alan. We have our next guest.
One quick thing. Geeta, one of the managers from 103 FM, just commented on our live. Good night, Geeta. I know this is extremely difficult for the 103 family. I had asked Corbett to be a part of it, and he did relay that. Unfortunately, at this time, it is too difficult for you all to even address these issues, especially knowing what you have to deal with tomorrow. And Geeta says his 103 family keeps expecting him to bust through the door, seems surreal to us. How do we move on? A life on and off the air. So to the 103 family, we feel for you. We definitely feel for you. And speaking of family, Beam is the reason why this individual is worldwide known. You know, so not because of his mom, who's Reshma Ramlal and stuff like that. This young man is one of the most extremist, talented dholak percussion player, musical arranger. He gave him this name of Drumsy, and you know, other names is what's on birth certificates, but he is born Mr. Drumsy, and he performed with Beam. He was back there while Beam performed Friday night, and I could only imagine what it was like Saturday morning when you reach home just minutes after he probably reached home to hear this kind of news. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Drumsy, Mr. Amir Ramchatan, the drummer of the Beamers Empire.
Drumsy, your mic.
Just make sure your mic icon is checked there, Drumsy, that we have you connected. Unfortunately, I know you're at the wake and things like that, and we might have a little technical thing there.
Do we have? Yeah. I think Drumsy is stick with us there tonight. Is that a pose by Joel? Is that a pose? The hands on the face like this. Is that a pose, Joel? Your mic. Yeah. Your mic. I don't know what happened to your mic.
So
Every time you got
listen, so my mic is going on and off by itself, so I don't know. But I was going to say it would have been really interesting to hear from this young man, because he was basically the last person that performed with him, right? So it would have been really nice to hear what this guy had to say.
Yeah, we're still going to try to see if we can be able to connect Drumsy back to us. Of course, we're going like about Guyana time, that is. We're going to go like about 10 minutes after 10, which gives us about 17 minutes. Okay, Drumsy, your experience with Beam, night of the show. Yeah, we just got that one question in.
We lost him.
Yeah, we're gonna see if we do.
Yeah, unfortunately, the internet in Trinidad is not all that great, you know. So, but
so we can take a quick song if you guys want, while we try to get him to refresh his internet connection.
Okay. We could do that. You could do that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play a piece of 2 songs. So of course, someone requested this song of Anil, and this is this one here is going out to you guys. And I believe it was Sharon that requested this.
If tomorrow is Judgment Day and I'm standing on the front line, and the Lord asks me what I did with my life, I would say I spent it serving you. Yeah, you, my beautiful people. Yeah, 'cause your love is my love, and my love, your love. It would take जमाने से तेरा
And Alan,
You
I
know-
know we're going to run short on time, but I'm going to give it back to you.
We
Let me. Unfortunately, there was a couple of passings recently. We didn't get a chance to mention it due to the fact that we were talking about Anil and his unexpected passing. But the father of Raymond, Rennie, and Richard Ramnarine, Uncle Toll, recently passed away. Actually, just a week before Anil and the passing. And when I did a tribute to Uncle Toll, who is an icon throughout Trinidad and the Caribbean and so forth, this was one of the songs I had dedicated to him because of how this is. And actually, look, we have one of the brothers of Anil is what he goes by. That's the correct name. This gentleman that's coming on here, brothers in blood is probably not the correct terminology for the relationship that the two of them share. If Beam goes to Canada, there's only one place you will find him. You understand? Is in this person's house, and that's where he would be. The countless times of togetherness that they share, as well as musical creations, as well as life journeys and histories and things like that. He's actually in Trinidad at the home of Anil right now to be at the funeral tomorrow. I have the honor of bringing on the air right now a brother of Anil, Mr. Ravi Suku. Good night, Ravi. Thank you for taking the time. I know this is not something that's easy for you, and we thank you for just sharing with us a few minutes. What is one of your momentous, iconic moments that you shared with Beam that will forever be etched in your memories?
I'm sorry, I'm late. I was at the house. I'm actually back home now. We left the week earlier. So but in terms of memories, man, everybody's. I have so many memories. I don't know. This man, it wasn't just a really family. He gave me my wife. My wife is his cousin, right?
Okay, look at that. That's a big statement. That's a big statement.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Say, man, I don't know. I have too many memories of this guy.
Just so you know, Ravi lives in Canada, and Ravi had to travel from Canada to Jersey, to New York, to get to Trinidad, to be alongside, to pay respect and honor to his brother. And Ravi was fortunate enough to be part of the New York production that they had Sunday night. Going away on the keyboard there, man, for your brother Beam and stuff like that. A vintage Ravi Suku, So, like I said, Rav, I know this is not easy on you, bro.
I guess we just have to celebrate his life, right? We can't bring him back. We have to celebrate who he was, and the time that we have to be glad that I'm glad that I was a part of his journey and he was a part of mine.
Rafi, what's the last project that you would have worked with Beam on, as it is?
The Ratalambia thing I did for him.
Oh,
And,
yeah,
Riaz, I was just gonna go say that I have a gift for Ravi tonight, and if you guys don't mind, Ravi, this is for you.
वाकिफ हुए तेरे दिल की बात से छुपाया जिसे तूने कायनात से वाकिफ हुए तेरे उस ख्याल से छुपाया जिसे तूने अपने आप से कहीं ना कहीं तेरी आंखें तेरी बातें पर रहे हैं हम कहीं भी तेरे दिल में हर खनों में ढले रहे हैं हम तू हर लम्हा
And I figure Ravi would appreciate that, so I just had to give you a little piece of it.
Ravi bringing that Canada flair. Go ahead, Rav. Tell them about that.
A long time ago we did that. Yeah, man. Wow. There's too many. I swear were doing music like every 2 weeks, so coming out with a song.
Definitely.
But,
All right. So Shahada, before Rafi continue, so Shahada is asking us to play clips. Or Shahada, what we choose to do tonight is have real life stories from friends and musicians from all over the world tonight. Hence, we choose not to go down the clips and the videos, and we decide to do audio pieces only on tonight's tribute. We decide to do it a bit different. And we are not only on social media, we are live in a national network in Guyana, and which we are approaching 10 minutes before we have to make way on that network at NTN here, who we're grateful for the studio. Ravi, I know it's a tough time, but we appreciate your company tonight. Anyone else asking a question for Ravi before? Let me
Rav,
say good night.
before I let you go, Nati said to let you know that let me know that your correct name is James, and that's excuse me. So I guess it's a true talk because I had to end up sneezing at that. One of the things
who is my real name? James Ravind. That's what the Ravi.
Now, the other thing, the statement has been going around from Virendra to Jai, Rishi Mahatu, we just had on just a couple minutes ago. It is said that Beam is the most recorded artist that probably is in the Caribbean, and you did a lot of production with him. Would you attest to that he probably is the most recorded artist? Maha said he probably did 100 tracks with Beam alone.
4 years now, and for the last 15 years, I swear, all the music I've been doing, I've been my wife for tracks, right? So I can't even tell you how much. There's tracks that we did that because remember we've been doing this since before they had social media and YouTube and all 101 and thing and radio and thing in Trinidad. That's so long. I can't even tell you. Yeah, there's too many tracks.
Any parting words before we let you go? Once again, thank you very much for taking the time from being in Trinidad and being right there on the forefront and joining us in our tribute and remembrance and honoring an icon, the Bima.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for including me. And he touched the world. We can see, they're gonna have a state funeral for this guy tomorrow. I mean,
good luck tomorrow. I know it's not going to be easy time period for you tomorrow.
Not going to be an easy time for anybody, right? I'm just happy that I was a part of it. I was a part of his journey, and I'm glad with him. And all I can remember now, so that's all I could take now, right?
Bro, thank you again. Hopefully you might be able to release some, Michael Jackson still gets stuff that comes out there. Maybe you might be able to help release some vintage Beam in the future that's coming out.
I have, especially the last time he came up for Father's Day, because, I got the full, but we were saving it for, promotion later on and everything. But I think when I go back, I'll just mix it and I'll put it up on social media for everybody. Maybe on his birthday.
That, brother.
His birthday.
Yeah, May. Around Mother's Day. May 14th, I believe his birthday is.
Either Mother's Day or somewhere around. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you again, Ravi. And like I said, blessings to you and the family and good luck with tomorrow. All right?
I know. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Rosh, I think Amir is in the background there. Is that correct? So let's see.
Yes. Let me bring it again.
There we go. So I had that big build up and big intro and everything like that. Are you able to? Are we hearing you? Check. Make sure that you press the mic icon, and go to default and make sure that it's on. Let's see. Thank you. So it's being confirmed. Just make sure that the
he gotta press the lock on the browser and permission the mic.
Yeah, so I'm gonna send you something, Amir, just to make sure. I know you're using somebody else's phone, but like I had said a little bit earlier, in regards to Amir is an extremely talented young man, and Beam took him under his. You could say Beam took him under his wings and really helped him come out to a different level to the industry, And I really hope we can get him to say something, because the times when you don't want him to say anything, he's always on TikTok doing all these kind of craziness. And now that we want him to say something, his mic's not working. Look at that. Maybe we need a TikTok connection for Amir. I just sent you the instructions again. Just make sure on the microphone, when you click that, you should be able to get those options that's there. Once again, on the 103 platform tomorrow will be the funeral live from the NCIC Diwali Nagar grounds in Trinidad and Tobago at 9 a.m. Trinidad Guyana time, 8 a.m. if you're in the U.S. Amir, you good?
I don't think Amir is good.
Still not hearing him. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
but he's hearing us. He's hearing us. Yeah, he's hearing us. Do we
Maybe
have
try
anyone else?
maybe try your sister's phone or something. But
Do we have anyone else? Do we have anyone else in the queue? Yeah, because
because
we're not hearing. Because
if Beam was here, Amir getting two tap in your head, and by this mic not working, I know that for a fact.
all right, so
Be like, Drumsy, what wrong with you, boy? Why this mic thing not working?
all right, so Drumsy look like it. Do
Hey,
we
but
have anyone
Al,
else?
Yeah.
Riaz.
Uh-huh.
No, Riaz, we don't at the moment. But you
Oh,
know,
we're almost out of
we
time.
talk about you guys know this song, right? This Bollywood song. Go back in the black and white days. It's called Pulo Katarota.
Mhm.
You guys remember that song?
I remember that song.
Katarota. All right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
only Anil Beam. Only Anil can do something like this.
We only have 5 minutes on NTN.
And the beam, we dey in a dim factory, yeah. फूलों का तारों का सबका ना है 1000 मेरी बहना है ओ फूलों का तारों का सबका कहना है 1000 मेरी बहना है सारी उम्र में संग रहना है फूलों का तारों
I see Avinash.
I just wanted to play a little piece.
I
I mean,
know.
vocals like that, forget it.
I just want to give a story. Unfortunately, Rishi Gaideen isn't able to join us tonight because he's sound checking at the Nagar for tomorrow. So he was going to try to join.
And unfortunately, we will have to start wrapping this up because we are out of airtime on NTN. We are being graced a few minutes before we start going to wrap this up. So, Joel, get back to your seat. I don't know why Joel's trying to always come next to me every time. Come over here. Just
One of the quick stories that I had wanted to give, and I was hoping that Rishi Gaideen would have been able to. As you guys know, one of his most iconic songs, Sare Zamane, where that Beam probably got global stardom from because he won an award in Trinidad and Tobago from that song, was actually produced by Rishi Gaideen. Rishi Gaideen was the executive producer, and the story that Rishi had given was the fact that he was supposed to record that song with Indar Kanhai, which is another powerful vocalist out of Trinidad and Tobago. And he said that Indar was kind of sticking and getting the song done and so forth. And Rishi called Beam, and they were they were by Fareed Mohammed FM Studios in Trinidad, and told Beam to come down. And when he told Beam to come down, he said, "Beam, I want you to do this song because I know this song is going to be large. It's going to be big. And go ahead." And Beam's like, "What? All right, fine." Beam went into the car, wrote out the song to learn the lyrics and everything like that. Came back in studio, put down those vocals, and the rest is history because once that version of Sade Zamane had released from Beam, which is one of his staple songs that he sings, he won an award, and it was from that moment on, with Rishi Gaideen.
Lovely. But can we have a drum roll now for Drumsy?
There we go. There we go.
Drum roll for Drumsy.
Very
Drum roll
disappointed
for
in
Drumsy.
Android. I have the latest Android and no, I had to go for an older phone to work.
It only works on TikTok. So,
Hey,
as I
look
said,
so
ladies and
apparently.
Drumsy is the son of Reshma Ramlal, but he's also the music arranger for her, as well as his the manager. But Drumsy's first taste in this industry was being under the tutelage of the icon Anil Beam and being a part of the Beamer's band, because Beam recognized the immense talent of this young man and made him his featured drummer. So, Amir, I know this is not easy for you, and I know
Definitely
I don't know
not
what to
easy.
say.
Because God made me this jovial person, I think that's why I'm still smiling, and knowing that I was one of the most fortunate youths to have spent some time with him under his leadership, tutorship, mentorship. I am smiling for that reason, and I'm glad
And
that I get
Drumsy,
to.
there is no problem smiling, brother,
Oh
because
yeah, I
what
know.
we're doing tonight is celebrating his life.
Yeah, of course.
So, you
Even
know,
sorry to cut you across, Piers, but Tuesday when they tentatively said would have been his funeral, I don't think I would have been prepared, and I don't think I would have been able to stand to face the crowd, to face him, to face anything. And I think he delayed this entire funeral because he wanted everyone to get a little more time to not just heal, but to gather up that strength and that courage to send him off.
Amir, he made
yeah.
a post Friday night after his performance and stuff like that, and you guys are in the background there, where he
Yeah,
says, "I will be a band person for life." Tell us what that means to you.
boy. So many things I could tell you to answer that question, but my humble opinion of what that meant was that Beam unconsciously knew that he was departing. His actions said it all, but obviously he wouldn't have known. And he was making his peace. He was he was how to put it. He was detaching himself from everything around him, little by little.
Pause right there. Pause right there, Drumsy. Pause right there.
Hmm.
Did you see a difference with Anil Beam
Oh
Friday
gosh,
night on
I was the
stage?
first person that said that from the Friday morning when we met to do the sound check for the gig. I actually
Hmm.
told him in his face. I said, "Beam, something wrong with you?" Him, what do you mean? I say, "I find you glowing." Now, for those who's locked on, whoever had the privilege or the honor, I should say, to work with Anil, they would know that he's a very not picky or fussy, but a very particular fellow when it comes to his music, when it comes to his sound, his quality, his performance,
Perfectionist.
everything. Perfectionist,
Perfectionist.
yes. And usually when we sound check in, like if we go to sound check, I would say, well, we're not going to do a sound check, we're going to do a rehearsal because we would take long. He'd make sure everything is tuned and everything is properly well sound checked from the keys, the drums, the Ableton, everything. He'd go outside and correct the engineer. No matter how good you was, he knew what you wanted to hear. So no matter who you could have been by that board, he would go and tell you. We usually would have take an hour and 15 to sound check. We took 20 minutes. And he was glowing. He was I don't even know how to put it, but he was looking so nice. If that's all I can say. He was looking so nice. He was looking so. He had a glow. He had a particular glow. As I was talking with Cheryl the last few days about it, he had a particular glow that I couldn't understand where it was coming from. And to even add to that, when we finished sound check, he's very professional. One thing with Anil, don't mind he good with his boys or his peeps, whoever he works with. He always had a balance between his professional life and his personal life, sorry, and his professional career. He never let the two coincide or got his outside people to come into his personal life, vice versa. So usually when we done sound check, it'd be like, okay, boys, nice check. See you all later. He actually told us, wait. He ordered a round of beers, ordered some appetizer, and we sat down. We was talking, and it was very strange. But I mean, I enjoyed it. It was a Friday, and I said, it's carnival, and he probably in the spirits who knew, but
Hmm.
I was enjoying it. We had a nice talk, and we was talking to a member of the Linadan and one of the engineers. I don't know if you know Truckee, that the stage engineer. We
Yeah,
were talking
Chucky.
to Truckee, right? And they were talking. They were reminiscing on some memories with Uncle Tool as well. And then Beam was like, um, he just want a peaceful death if he have to go. Believe it or not, that's what he said. He said, "Boy, if you know how he would have talked, boy, if I tell all you, when I go, I want to go peaceful and I wanna rest like Papa because Uncle told I was told when peacefully." So he said he wanted to go peacefully, and he said, "You see my children right here with me." He referred to the three of us, his boys, Nirmal, Suraj, and I, as his children. He said, "My children here go come, everybody go come around and peaceful and tell them, say boy peaceful." And that was the
Wow.
strangest, most beautiful thing ever. And when we finished, we went up the road. We left the event to go home to come back for the show. And when we left, we met him by the traffic lights, and we hung the horn to hail him out. And he turned and he gave us this look like, I don't even know how to explain. Like, he looked at us. He didn't get a chance to smile because he looked shocked in a way, but a very nice, I don't know. It was just a nice image of him. And then, well, for the show itself, he was phenomenal. The name of the show was Phenomenal Fridays, and I'm telling you, Beam's performance, his aura was phenomenal. He sang the best that I ever heard. I mean, I only born the other day, but in my little years of existence, I could say that was the best I ever heard him sing. And he was great. He had a glow with him. He didn't even get angry because I was 15 minutes late for the show. Everybody else was there early. I'm usually the one to be on time. That's the next thing. I'm the one always on time for his gig. I wouldn't say that in general. I'm always late for everybody else's business, but with him, I'm always on time for his gig. And I was the one to be late. I was driving alone to the event, and I was 15 minutes late. And usually he go call if I did run late or something. Mir, what the hell? Why you not here yet? Oh God, we had to start now, man. Come now, hustle up. I'll be like, right, I'm coming now. But that night he was like, when he reached, he was like, where you? Like a 15 minutes away here. All right, when you reach, pack up, go on the stage, and we go start. I said, no problem, pa. I reached, I just went on the stage, he came at the side, he smiled at me, yeah, let me mash up this place. I said, no problem. And that's what he did. He sang, he enjoyed himself, he had a great show, bro. Great show.
Amir, now, as you know, a lot of people like to say all different kind of things and stuff like that. We know he's very emotional and so forth when he's performing and things. But if you could just confirm for everyone, what was told is that he had arrived home, everything was good. He went to shower, and unfortunately, that was when he passed while home. Is that correct in that statement?
Yes, that statement is correct. However, what had happened now further into that after the event finished. So I you guys may know Kishore Viziramdat, the leader of Avatar, right? One of our brothers, Beam, him and I, all of us had a nice love relationship. And I stayed back after Beam has performed to accompany with his band as well. And he left to do a solo performance at a local club in Shogunas. And when I finished the show, he called me about 12 minutes past 1, exact time, 12 minutes past 1. He called, he was like, Mir, where are you? I was like, I'm going home, pa. He said, boy, I know my shop Avala. I said, nice. He said, it was full. Yeah, nice crowd, boy, nice people. And I said, right. We talked for exactly 20 minutes. We talk about everything. And usually, he wouldn't complain, but he would just vent a little bit about certain things he would want fixed or change. Not with the band really, but with generally his music and his work and stuff. That night he didn't make anything an issue on the call, and with my girlfriend as witness, she probably locked on or sleeping, I don't know. But I had the phone on the deck in the car, so she was hearing everything he was saying, and he was talking so nice, and he wasn't complaining about anything. He sounded so peaceful. And after 20 minutes of talking, I was almost home, and I said, Beam, I'm going to head home now. I'm almost there. I'm going to pass a dead zone with lost connection. Yeah, I'm all right. Well, you go rest up. We go talk. I love you, Papa. I said, all right, love you too. See, I'll see you. I'll go talk to you tomorrow. I said, no problem. And I reached home, went to bed. About 2 hours after, I got called from Cheryl and whatnot about he wasn't responding. I did my best. Nirmal, sorry, the keyboardist called me and informed me that he's not responding and we need to do something. So I tried my fastest. I was in Claxton Bay. That's a good way from Beam. I did my best to reach Valsane, and by the time I reached, it was in his room. Yeah, he did shower and go to his room, and that was that.
All right. I know we have to wrap up from the NTL
no problem,
side of thing.
Yeah, we'll.
Anything you want to say, Joel? I know you wanted to make sure that Amir had got to connect with us, being one of the last people as a part of his life. And I know you don't know Amir personally, but very extremely talented young man.
Yeah. I've never met Amir. As he said, he is young and yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. But I'm so glad that you shared those moments with us because again, we all have been hearing what has happened, and then for you to solidify that and and tell us or share the journey with us. That's been
Yeah.
beautiful.
All right.
Definitely.
So thank you.
Drumsy, thanks so much.
No problem.
We really appreciate it. We got to rush right now because I'm getting back to you as well from
No
TV
problem.
land
Take care, guys.
Guyana
We
to
will
wrap
be
up.
talking after the final event tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Take care.
Amir, thank you again.
To the many viewers, sorry if we did not acknowledge your comments tonight. We were trying to get the stories from our personnel, our friends, the close band associates, musicians of the past with Anil. Current, we've shared quite a lot from quite a few people tonight. So thank you for sharing. Thanks for locking into NTN TV 1869. Weekend, Abby Tunes, Team MMR page on YouTube. We definitely appreciate it. This will be my wrap, and I'll let it go around the cameras as it is. So the legacy, the music, the voice, the vocalist, Anil Beam lives on. Rest in peace, bro.
Joel.
Well, Riaz, Alan and I gonna let you and Joel wrap up because I know you gotta drop off Joel, and Alan and I gonna drop like 2 songs before we end the live.
Yeah.
Good. So you guys were closer, Joel.
Yeah, myself and Roche don't have any dates and dinner arrangements and stuff like that. But
You are blushing.
you're right. Joel's actually blushing. Yeah.
I'm just happy that you're taking me to
We'll
dinner.
stay hungry. Riaz, you and you and Joel have a little bite for us.
We got.
Oh,
Joel
he'll have
goes
a
in.
bite.
Now, Joel, any parting words you want to say to the people and them that's
Yeah.
locked in?
So in all seriousness, tonight we've shared the legacy, the culture, and the iconic memories of a true icon. And it is amazing how people and so many people remember and continues to share their memories of this young man who of course I've known for 30 years. I'm so happy to have been here, and like I said, with everything we do, we've got to insert humor because humor is so important. And I just want to thank all you gentlemen here for putting this together and making this possible. To all of the viewers and to everybody, the only thing I can say before I go, and I think most of you know how I am, the way I think, and the way I like to be kind and helpful to people, and just to remember that tomorrow is promised to no one.
Thank you, Joel, because it was really you're the one that kickstarted this with Reyes to get us to come together.
I'm gonna give Joel all the credits, guys. Joel called me. He said that we either need to do a wake, we need to do a remembrance, we need to do something. And I knew I could have not take this on my own. I reached out to Alan, I reached out to Roche, but credits well deserved to Joel for pioneering this venture. Because I guess I was just sitting back on and reflecting. Probably would have done it on. I did a few songs on radio, but Joel is taking off his things right now.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not leaving just yet. Unfortunately, Reyes and Joel have to
We
sign
will go.
off
We
due
will go.
to their on the NTN network over there.
Take care, everybody.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Good night.
So we're going to be wrapping up very shortly. We're not wrapping up yet. Good night to Joel and good night to Reyes. Safe journeys on their way home. I definitely want to thank Virendra Prasad, Ricky Jai, Nati Ramotar, Bobby Mohan, Amir Drumsy, Terry Gotraj, I'm drawing a blank. I'm so sorry because this has just been an up and down, extremely crazy night because of the fact that this person, I and Roshan knows this, right? I love what I do. We don't make money in this, right? This is not about money. This is not about anything. This whole thing, what we do, is for our culture and community. You understand? This doesn't pay any bills. We lose on top of anything if not. It's an investment in our culture at the end of the day. And you know, in regards to, Roche is very new to being on air and on radio and so forth. I've been involved in this on the back end and so forth, well over 20 years. You know, I know these guys for such a long time. Roche has been the right hand of Terry Godraj for probably, you know, Terry's 21 years old, but probably been performing for 50, 40 years, you know. So, and Roche has been alongside him with that. But I love what I do, and I love the impact that I help make in regards to people's lives and being positive. And one of the good things in regards to what I do, I've witnessed so much iconic moments in life that, you know, from seeing these people, I had the honor of being on stage with Anil Beam and playing his music and running his tracks and, you know, talking different things about, you know, new production and whatever, and back and forth and so forth, as well as, you know, Raymond Ramnarine and his dad, Uncle Toll. These are people that, you know, because of what I do, I've been blessed, you know, to meet Anand Yankaran, who has passed, you know, to meet a lot of people who have passed. That's been, you know, Sam Budram. The list goes on. My mind is a blank, but, you know, Beam is somebody that you will see tons of videos, and videos are going to start circulating and coming up and things like that, which, you know, will etch places in people's hearts. There's songs that, you know, he just sings that share and that's it. You start crying and whatever. And one of the major things that I always say about Beam, his Bhajan CDs is like you completed a work, and give all homage to our devotees and deotas when you play his music. I don't think there's any more passion and devotion from an individual that is not from India. You understand? That sings, that people from India honor the productions that he's made. Am I correct in saying that, Roche?
Absolutely, and you know, rightfully said, Alan. You know, like I said, I mean, when my son was born, his Hanuman Chalisa was on rotation non-stop for a whole week. You know, and it was so inspiring. And I play the Hari Om Sharam Hanuman Chalisa, and right after that is Anil Beam's Bole Bole Hanuman. Always. Those two are synopsis together. You understand? And Diwali time, what does everybody do? Run Beam CDs and things of that nature. And now that in a time where he has Raymond and Alka Rakesh did it for Tujay Surat, and now an iconic song, Suhani Rat, Beam had globalized that song again by his own rendition. He recently labeled himself the vocalist, and it was rightfully deserved, because this man is one of the best vocalists to grace us during our Janam here. That is absolutely right. So Al, what do you say we drop one of his top songs of all time?
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen.
This is the Beamer, yo. And this is the thing that you've been waiting for. Whoa. This is the Beamer, yo. किसी से मुझे प्यार हो, किसी का इंतजार हो, किसी से मुझे प्यार हो, किसी का इंतजार हो, जिसके लिए हर एक पल दिल बेकरार हो, किसी से मुझे प्यार हो, किसी का इंतजार हो, जिसके लिए हर एक पल दिल बेकरार हो. सामने आ जाए वो जी भर के मैं बातें करूं जब सामने आ जाए वो जी भर के मैं बातें करूं नजरों से जो छुप जाए वो उसके लिए आहे भरो कितना हंसी ये हादसा बस एक बार हो किसी से मुझे प्यार हो किसी का इंतजार हो जिसके लिए हर एक पल दिल में करार हो किसी से मुझे प्यार हो
They call him the vocalist. 48 years he spent on this earth. And then what happens?
Large. This is the beamer with the caramel fever. Girls and darling, run the sugar.
Just walk into my life, kahe deewanapan. Just walk into my life, kahe deewanapan. Tenu dil vich rakh lu, jaane man. Tenu dil vich rakh lu, jaane man. Tenu dil vich rakh lu, jaane man.
And of course, I mean, when you listen to these songs, these are songs that are timeless. And the fact
Oh,
that
yeah.
someone like Anil put out songs like this will be even more timeless.
Now, before we get ready to wrap up and things like that, I don't know how much longer you want to go, Ro. I don't know.
We can do another song and then wrap up.
Okay, well, before we get to that, because I know we want to close with one specific song and things, but before, and Rose, thank you very much. It's not easy in mission control over there. I know what it's like. You understand it? This was a very hectic night, and once again I thank everyone. Unfortunately, there was a couple people that wasn't able to make it. Randy Reckless Ramden was supposed to be on tonight, as well as Simply E from England. As well as Rishi Gaidin, people that have a history with the Bima. But one thing I definitely want to say is the fact that you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. And one of the reason why this hurts me a lot in regards to what happened was the fact that Thanksgiving weekend, I was supposed to meet up with Beam. He was performing in Florida. And we had on the Saturday, Enjoy's Roti Delight. and I knew he was coming and things like that. Joy's and them, I was helping in regards to the promotion and so forth. And first time I'm gonna get to hear Beam sing the song live. You understand the anthem that's just going completely viral and thing. I had just a week or so before that, I was DJing a 50th birthday for a Suriname family and dropped that song and it went crazy. And I got to video it and send it to him and stuff like that. I'm like, Beam, I'm glad for you, bro, because you know in this industry you need a trending song because a lot of the promoters and them don't pay you that respect. Even though you're an icon, you understand? He's iconic. A lot of promoters don't bring them up and things like that unless their song is trending. And as a lot of people know, I have a very young baby daughter. She was 4 months at the time. 4 months, 4 months to 3 months. And we were traveling back from Tampa. And we had an hour delay in traffic driving down. And then very close to home, we had another half an hour to 45-minute delay due to an accident that took the life of a very young man, 7 years old, in an accident very close to home. And I said, you know what? To me, that's a sign. Let me just keep my backside home, right? Even though I had enough time to make it to Joy's and things like that. And I didn't go to Joy's that night. And I didn't get to see Beam or talk to him and things like that. And that's the second time in a year that I let something else get in the way of me seeing somebody before they passed away. Because one of my very good friends had passed away around Mother's Day this year. While I was in New York, I forgot he was in the hospital. And when I arrived back home, he had passed. So whenever you get a chance to spend a cherished moment with somebody, you don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. So that's a regret I have. I try to live without regrets, but I can mention 2 regrets in my life, you know. And to you all that's out there, I really hope that you don't have to experience a regret in life, especially when it comes to people that you're very close with and family and things like that, because like I said, Roshan is a brother that I check on all the time. You know, he checks on me, I check on him, Reyes and so forth, because the love that we have for each other doesn't matter that we're on multiple platforms, but the love that we share for each other goes above and beyond culture, community, and this industry. We generally have love for one another and our families.
Indeed, Al. And you know, sometimes it's unfortunate that we spent our life running after the things that are meaningless and find out that the things that are meaningful when we don't need it anymore. So we have to, those are the simple little things, and it doesn't cost much to make those little change in our life. And that's what we have to do. You know, look, the things that are provided to us in this world that are absolutely the best is for free. We don't have to work hard for it to do that. But yet we run after the things that are more difficult in life, that are not so meaningful. So like you said, you know, there's a true bond, you know, and like you know, I'll always say hashtag family comes first. Well, make that hashtag part of your life, you know, because we will realize later on that we are all one human family, you know, so let's not wait until it's too late. I like that, Al.
You know, and as I said, family sticks together, right? And this is what we are there for each other. When Reyes just recently got he proposed. Who's the second call Reyes makes? It's to myself and Roshan. You understand that he did it. And just a couple of days before, I was bothering him about proposing and things of that nature. And when I heard this news early Saturday morning, I couldn't fall asleep Friday night to begin with. And then I was just on the bed watching YouTube and Facebook and TikTok. And then when I got the message, I couldn't sleep. I did not sleep for 48 hours because in fear of, I'm not a lightweight guy. You understand? You know, health is always something. Good night to my brother, Mr. KYN. You know, these are the things you worry about. And the thing is, I'm fortunate enough that I have a new glimmer of such joy and love and preciousness and and my little gonna be 6 month old daughter that I want to be around for a lot of years to see what she's gonna do. And I'm, we talk about it. I tell Ro, we're looking at behind our health and this and that and the next thing, and you guys you have to do it. But we don't control what's gonna happen tomorrow. I wanted to go on air and play his music on Saturday. I couldn't do it. I wanted to do it Sunday. Tuesday nights on my program, couldn't do it. But tonight I had no choice. But with my brothers in arms and other people in this industry, was able to get through tonight to make tomorrow a little bit easier. It's not going to be something that's easy in this community, in this world, and on this planet. What they have to experience tomorrow, 9:00 a.m. Trinidad time. This is something that's very hurtful because we really and truly lost an icon. The American community had, Elvis Presley, you have Michael Jackson and things like that. Our West Indian community had a lot of other people, but Anil Beam is a name that is etched forever in our West Indian community.
Absolutely. Tomorrow will be a difficult day. And that's when I found out Saturday, Al, honestly, I did not want it to go on air.
When I told you, and you were dumbstruck. You didn't know what to do. And that's how
I
we
was
all
like,
were.
that's not real. I mean, but even though when I came into the studio, I was like, I really I wanted to finish the live early, all of that. I mean, I was not in the mood to go on air and broadcast. But when someone loves music and put their heart and soul into it like Anil does, I know that's what he would have enjoyed. So
and the saying goes, music heals. You understand? But I couldn't. I just couldn't. And after tomorrow, we will see what happens. And I think we could probably end with that song. But any parting words before we go to that song, Rose?
The only thing I can say, we've heard it over and over and over again, and that's how it was sunk in. Put everything aside. Put everything aside in life, and just stop for a moment. Take a deep breath, and think about all the people around you. And think of your purpose and be honest and true to yourself and ask yourself, why am I here today? And live your life to that. Don't let adversity and other things overcome you. We're all here for a purpose. Every one of us has a purpose in life. And once you figure that purpose out, then you start to live.
For sure, definitely, 100%. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, before we get ready to wrap up, tomorrow, Thursday, the 9th of February, will be the funeral at the Diwali Nagar, NCIC Nagar location. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. If you're locking in from Trinidad, we thank you all very much. It will be very, very well attended, and that if you're going, go early, get your spots and things of that nature. It will, if you are abroad, it will be live streamed on the 103 FM network that we will share. Roshan, myself, Reyes, we will share that link as they already have a YouTube link already available on the 103 FM YouTube channel. Facebook page, the 103 family was supposed to be part of tonight, but they really truly is going through a very difficult time because this is a shock to everyone. Look at one of my brothers that I love extremely very much. It doesn't matter if we don't talk to each other every day, but nothing stops how we both feel for each other. My boy DJ Shivi, that's out in Orlando. Thank you very much. He's also an icon in this industry with us, a voice of many commercials and things like that. And a lot of people, tomorrow is not going to be a very easy day. So we wish each and every one of them the Lord's blessings to get through it. We know that Anil has definitely made a mark and has touched each one of us, our hearts, in many, many ways, that we all have different memories. And you all that are locked on, the statement has been said many, many, many countless times that a person that you all might not have met has made an impact in all your lives through the medium of music. And I thank my parents, I thank my friends and supporters. Because I have music, it does wonders for me. And I can't wait to see what the next step is for all of us in regards to trying to get through an era now without the man Anil Beamer, the Beamer.
With that being said, Al, to each and every one of you, we would like to instill love into your heart with this next tune. And to each and every one of you, do know that we all love you very much. We truly do. And if there's anything that we can do for any of you, please do not hesitate. Reach out to us anytime. And to everyone who joined us on the panel tonight, thank you all so much. Love and respect. And until next time, we'll see you again.
Hey, hey.
Just one look and I'm hypnotized. Attitude and rude girl style. My dogs is going wild. Just the body and the shape where you give man a deal. You Beyonce body and you Wally Berry feel. Presence every man embrace the moment you step in the place.
मेरा चांद मुझे आया है नजर. मेरा चांद मुझे आया है नजर. ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर. ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर. छाया है नशा मेरी आंखों पर. मेरा चांद मुझे आया है नजर.
Thank you all so much. And Al, I'll catch you later.
Left, bad girls on the right, pure hot girls.